Tell me when we're ready, huh?
Ready.
Okay, hey, I'm Davey.
Nice to meet you, Dave.
What's
I'm
your
Dylan.
Dylan?
Yeah.
How's it going? Where you live?
I'm living here in Nanaimo right now.
Okay.
From Nova Scotia originally, but.
Of course, everybody. My name's Davey. From it can happen to you in Canada too. I'm talking to Dylan here right now, and I just happened to mention something to him about how WCB is workers' compensation, or WorkSafe, which is called now, is helping people. So, what do you have to say about that?
Well, I mean, I don't have any personal experience myself having to deal with WCB. I've had to file like injury reports I got on the job, but I didn't lose any time. But I had a lot of friends and people, co-workers that worked at the plant I was at.
Yeah.
And yeah, it just seems like there's a lot of red tape involved in the process.
Like when you say red tape, do you mean like too much red tape, like so that the injured worker can't get what he's wanted?
Yeah, and depending on what happened during the on the job, depending on the injury, sometimes they won't even compensate you at all.
Right.
Depending if unsafe work practices or whatnot.
Yeah.
But a lot of the times, those practices are somewhat embraced by the company you're working for,
exactly.
and then you're kind of left out hanging to dry when it comes time to
So in my experience, I had half my arm torn off, and then they put it back on.
Oh, wow.
It took me 7 years to get benefits.
Wow.
Okay, and when I'm talking to you guys out there, here's a Canadian worker, all right, and an honest guy, and he's concerned about his benefits. When he gets hurt, is he going to have them? Will he have the check there for him, like he's promised? What do you think about that?
No, yeah, it was definitely a concern of mine working on the job. I had a lot of close calls when I was working, and especially too long-term disability, depending on the job you do. I ran rivet guns a lot and started to get developing carpal tunnel syndrome and tendonitis in my arm. And the worry was for me because I saw people that went through that and how long it took them to receive their benefits, if they received them at all. So
were you worried about actually talking to your employer about that?
Yeah, it was something that was somewhat, it was kind of frowned upon in terms of,
a little edgy.
Yeah, like it was not a topic that was necessarily brought up in discussion a whole lot, because we kind of all knew that the job that we were doing involved something that was detrimental to our body.
Yeah,
but,
you're doing a job in Canada, and you think that you're backed up.
Yeah,
right.
You might not have that support that you think is there. So.
Exactly. And so if I asked you one thing, if there was one thing that you would like to say to employers in BC, what would it be?
I would just say, really make sure your employees, if you're in a management type position, make sure your employees know exactly what their benefits are, and depending on the job that you're doing, and make sure that they understand they know how to receive them in due time. And make sure they understand the process, because a lot of us, I know from personal experience, had no clue going into these claims.
Yeah.
So I would say education is probably the number one thing that
education
need.
And I didn't mean to cut you off there.
No, that's
the main thing that I'm saying to everybody that follows our viewers or our website. We're sitting in here after work having a beer. Education is where it's at, and if we don't start talking out and asking questions and starting a following to help us all, because we're paying into that. The employers are apparently paying into it.
Yeah, it comes off your paycheck at some point.
So what I want to say to you, thank you very much.
No, thank you.
And this is going to be on YouTube tonight. And I just want to say to everyone out there, this is a Canadian worker. He's proud. He's concerned. And that on that note, I'll leave you with him.